Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lars Ollberg, and I'm the President and CEO of Rapala VMC Corporation. Actually, I'd like to call myself the Chief Executive Salesman, because it is so important that our sales are going on, and I'll keep the flag on. So I'm really delighted to be given the opportunity to talk here and give you a review under the surface of the worldwide fishing tackle market and the key drivers of Rapala. So I worked my whole adult life in fishing tackles, and I lived in all continents while doing so. So I came back to Rapala after about a year ago to make a change to the better. So what are we going to do to make Rapala shine again? So I go straight to the point. That what are the key topics in my mind to make the change and to make a difference for Rapala. I say that for the coming 3 years, the key points for Rapala are sell more, and set clear targets, and sell products with good margin, ship in time, and create consumer pull. That's the first point. That's been keeping us afloat and will keep us afloat when we do it properly. The second point is we need to increase our EBIT, and we need to again sell more and watch your margins and watch your cost base. The third point, which is very important also, is to reduce our working capital. So we need to lower our inventories, but even more importantly, we need to turn the inventories faster. We need to negotiate better terms for money coming in and money going out. So that's my 3 theses that I'll go through more in detail in the presentation. But first I'd like to dive into our world, of fishing. And if when I press the button, does the video come on, or is it done by the producers there? Thank you.
We know they're out there, and we know we need to find them. We target them for different reasons, but when the line tightens, we all feel the same. We feel alive. The water moves around us, and the world feels far away. We are here. We are fishing. It is a search, not just for fish, but for all things most important. For family and friends, for tradition and tranquility, for conservation and competition. All of us find what we are looking for. Yet we continue searching. We cast, and as the lure soars, our hopes soar with it. This will be the one. They tell us insanity is doing the same thing over and expecting different results. But we are not insane. The fish are still out there, and we are fishermen. We have been since we were young, and will be until we can do no more. And then, when the ice begins to freeze within us, we will make time for one more cast.
So, hope you like it. It's all about dreams and passion, companionship, partnership, and having a joyful day on the water. So I'm going to tell about the business behind this emotional video and the business that's been going on since 1936. So I say it's Rapala is a brand that's crafted from experience since 1936. We have had our experiments also on other product categories, but it's the success that brought us to the world markets is when we focused on fishing, and we will focus more. We will focus more on our core, and we are in our world. We are in a marketplace together with the 4 other large companies. The two of those companies are Japanese publicly listed companies. The other 2 are American, private equity owned, and then there's Rapala. The Rapala, Helsinki publicly listed company with 1 anchor owner from France, the owner of the VMC brand. So we feel that when we are focusing on our fishing business, that's going to bring us back to the basics and back to the success. So looking what we have here is that we have several brands, but our major brands, the Rapala, the VMC, the Okuma, and the Suffix, they represent about 80% of the available market, the target market. Rapala we use for different kinds of fishing lures. The VMC is for hooks and terminal tackle and what we call the jigs. Okuma and 13 Fishing, they are for the rods and reels and the likes. And Suffix is our key brand for fishing lines. And I said, the world market, these categories represent more than 80% of the world market. So moving on to the markets, we are everywhere. So we are in more than 40 countries. We have manufacturing in Europe, and then most of our own manufacturers in Europe, and then our manufacturing partners, they are mainly in Asia. But when we are looking into the key figures from 2023, so our net sales were just north of 220 million, down heavily from 2022. I come back to this. Our 5.6 million EBIT from last year was a big disappointment. They are the disappointing numbers, but the numbers I'm proud of is the 40 countries we are having our own operation in place. I'm really proud of our 1,400 employees around the world. We are serving 50,000 stores globally. We are shipping 150,000 items every day to our dealers. And then, of course, the 20 million lures that we are making each year is something that nobody even gets close. Our key markets are there on the pie that you can see, and nowadays about half of our sales is going to North America. And actually that's also going to be one key for our turnaround. Is our strong position in North America, where Rapala has been a synonym for high quality fishing lures since 1960s. We actually boast also being a market leader in 3 categories in North America, which is the fishing lures, filleting knives, and a segment of the fishing hooks. So all these categories that I mentioned, they are also manufactured in Europe. So I have to say that when our products that are market leaders in the largest retail stores in the USA are made in Europe. I want to say I want to take hats off to our engineering and our manufacturing staff making it possible. So the key figures that you see here also make you understand why I'm really disappointed on these graphs or these pies or the columns, and I came here to make the things and change them to the better. The crazy COVID years of 21 and 22 made the world go around, and really after the COVID boost, everything collapsed. There was so much capacity, so much inventories that when the COVID was first coming, we were not sure if we can survive. But then the next day we noticed that people are doing nothing but fishing and going outdoors. We handled well the upswing, but I have to say that like many reasons made it happen that we couldn't properly handle the downswing. There's one number that I like you to take a look though on the right side of the numbers, which is the 208 million of group products sold. And if you compare those to the normal years of before COVID, the 2019, 2020, we are nicely up on our own products sales from those years. The green numbers that you can see here, they have dramatically reduced, and they represented the third-party products we had in our portfolio, where we were utilizing our distribution network to sell other manufacturers, brands, and products through our network. There was a strategic decision to walk away from there. And there's been a question that if we are coming back to this strategy, selling third-party products to our network, it's possible. But at the moment, I focus in putting our house in order and focusing on selling more our own products and securing the marketplace this way. So our market is highly segmented. There are about 250 million anglers globally, and as you can, when you look at these different segments, you also understand the complexity. This is not tennis or golf. With tennis you can have a smash and serve and volley and drive volley and a couple of other, but then you have basically a similar type of racket and similar type of balls and equipment. So in fishing, this is totally different. But we have chosen our key markets where we are seeing a good growth potential. We will grow especially in North America and in Europe. So on the product categories, some of you who have followed us, you have seen that we entered into the soft plastics lure market, and that is taking a phenomenal start. A market that's larger than our traditional hard baits. And we made such a bridgehead that we have already tripled our initial estimation what we can do there. Now, the other category that follows now the success of the Rapala Crush City that I'll show a minute ahead is the VMC products that are well suited, especially for this new type of lures that we are introducing. The other categories that we will see substantial growth is going to be the Okuma products in Europe, and then the 13 fishing products around the globe. These are they represent the rods and the reels in our business. Last but not least, category in our portfolio that I see constant growth since 2008 is the Suffix fishing lines. We came from market number 6 or 7 when we made the acquisition in 2008, and there's not been 1 year that we haven't grown with this category. And it is also lucrative, good business. And the one more thing that's giving us confidence of the future is that the global number of anglers is slowly increasing now, and also the consumer confidence is getting much better, especially on the consumables where we are strongest, where we are the strongest. But also I have this picture here for a while because it also explains somewhat the complexity that's making our working capital quite challenging. So we are working on this, and that's a big target for us to reduce our working capital from mid-40s to mid-30s, and that's a big thing that we hope to finish within the next 2 or 3 years. The comforting thing in the fishing tackle market is that the market is quite traditional, and it is a slowly changing market. We don't see industry breaking things coming in, but consumers are relatively brand loyal. Many of the consumers, they are using the same brand than their father was using, or their brother. It's something that you really follow the social media very, very closely, and you see what's happening there. Our products have long life cycles. And lastly, what's also the global trend of house brands coming in is actually not too bad for us, because the house brands, they need brands. The house brands, they need a kind of an anchor or a kind of a comparison product, which makes their products look less expensive. But at the same time, these market number 1, 2, or 3 are very important for the dealers to be able to position their products better. Moving on to a couple of corporate slides, which is our journey towards 2006. And as you can see here, the consumers and the customers, they are the center of gravity. They are the reason why we exist. We live for our customers. They are our partners for life, as I like to say. But moving then to the cornerstones of our business and our company, you see these circles here: the team and culture, the customer focus, the consumer focus, operations and finance, PD and innovation are all the elements that, of course, you need to run that run your company. But the last one, the sustainability, is a statement that we have given, is that our aim is to be the most sustainable corporate responsibility company in our industry. And all our actions we are doing in any segment are already taking this into account. And also, like the incentive programs we have in place in our group, all of these, they have a strong sustainability element in those. This is also how we like to look at our business. It's a house. It's a happy house. It's a house where everything's in order. It's got really a very, very strong foundation. We got the framework in place, our strategic initiatives, and our mission, vision is in place. And maybe you have seen a similar type of houses elsewhere. And it's good also to it's always good to look around, see what other people are doing well. And I certainly like to see our company as a house with the team working inside towards a common goal, which is creating outstanding experiences for the global fisherman. Moving on to kind of the future lifeline. So when we are doing our product and brand strategy development, these being our lifeline, we've been lucky and successful in our new products. I'd say that every year 10 to 15% of our revenue is coming from new products. One thing we have to be more careful in the future that we have to be more careful in what we are doing, the niches that we are going, or the segments we are going into. They must return a better return for the investment. But overall, we've been successful here, and there hasn't been a tackle show in the global tackle show in the world where Rapala products haven't won awards. And we have a very, very good experienced staff in our group for this business, because you know that when you are in a business that's bringing you joy, and you might go from Helsinki to Alaska to fish, you are taking products that you rely on. You know that you take a product that's proved to perform. And I think this is really one of the big success factors in our business. But to go from here to here, it's actually these are connected, because I use this a lot, and this phrase certainly wasn't invented by me. But this is one of the secrets why we can survive, is that we create global teams, and which we localize. Especially say the newest the Rapala Cross City launch was done in this way. We created the team and the looks and the taste and feel in America, in the US market, and then we localized it for APAC, for Europe, and so forth. So I was one detail on this why I was so happy about our global PD was that when thinking about the global fishing, the first season that opens always is Australian market or the Oceania market, and when we came out with the Rapala Cross City to the Australian market, we won the best of show just like this. And before the phenomenon was anything in the US. So this will be a good road ahead for us. About the distribution channel, I met somebody who was working close to the core of Coca-Cola company, and he was an eager fisherman. He told me that, hey Lasse, listen, Rapala is like Coca-Cola. You have to sell Rapala where fishing tackles are sold, because Coca-Cola needs to be where liquids are sold. He said that's a good strategy that you have, that it's a premium quality for the mass market. And as you can see here, the customers or the logos here, these are all our large customers, and you see them from SOK to Motonet to Amazon, to Fish USA. Everywhere our key customers are supporting us, and we are strong in e-com, the customers' e-com, not with our own e-com, and that's deliberate decision. And we want to support our dealers everywhere. They in every channel they are selling. So this is one of the key slogans for us: the premium quality for the mass market and for the Rapala Group as a whole, the crafted from experience. Maybe I talked a lot already about the Rapala Cross City, but this is how it looks. It's a special type of plastic that's used to inject lures that actually made more money to American fishing pros than any other lure this year. And when the guys like Jacob Wheeler and Justin Connell, when they are making hundreds of thousands of dollars in a single competition, and they come to the television and they say that, well, actually it was the Rapala Cross City that made me win this. And then Dustin here below, he said, actually I won this competition, made me $100,000 when I was using the one that's only coming out next year. So that's also like we are putting the baits in, for a long-term success for this category. And remind you, this is a bigger category than our traditional hard bait category. So I'm really excited about this, and maybe you you feel also that I'm really happy to come in after 2-3 years planning that this is a success. So. But we can't do the business alone. As mentioned, we don't want to enter into aggressive B2C market. We want to be the best partner in the business. We want to listen to our customers. We want to support our customers to be successful with our products. That is our goal. And I think that we are in a good start for making this happen. Rapala has always been good with the customers, but when I'm touting this all the time, I think it's also giving more echo to the world. I've been traveling the world. I've been going to stores in Canada, to like everywhere, to show support. And also, as you can see, winning on the field, it's so important that we look good on the stores. And also, like coming to the international markets, I've said that like, okay, guys, let's Americanize our strategy here. Let's be aggressive. Let's try to own the shelves much better than we've done. Let's invest there, because that's also the way that the dealers and our customers, they love it when we are bringing customers to their stores and make it easy for them to find our products in their shelves. So I'm getting to the end of my presentation, but the winning in the field. I got a lot of inspiration from some people also in our board of directors, and they are really supporting me strongly on this one, that the business is won on the field. And I think we are making a very, very good inroads on this one. I think the final slide I have here is something I love. It's going towards also stormy waters. It's crafted from experience, a guy who knows what he's doing on the boat. And if in the end, if I summarize the 3 key topics that everybody in Rapala has heard me speaking about, and I'm doing these slogans to make it easy to repeat, easy to understand for everybody what's important, and I keep on touting these. And the first one is that all on red. Rapala is red, so all on red. And it means that use Rapala as the door opener. There can be a fishing tackle store in the world that can survive without Rapala. So use Rapala to open the door, and you sell the Rapala, and then it helps you to sell the other products too. The other slogan I've used is one more turn. One more turn. It's I've said also that I don't care about the inventories if it turns well. If it turns well, I have a number in mind for our guys that how much we have to improve our stock turns. The third point here is follow the money. Follow the money, but follow only the big streams. Kind of don't care about the small things. Follow the big streams in and out. And the 3+1, the +1 is the most important. And I've been talking to everybody about this, and this is the way to success, and the word is together. The word is together. Together, the Rapala team will be successful together, and also let's be together with our customers, and let's make all the global anglers to fall in love with our products. So this concludes my presentation, and
please.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Please join me on the chair for Q&A.
All right.
So just as a reminder to all the viewers, you can still submit your questions. We already have somewhat of a lineup here, so we'll start off here. But Lars, you came back not too long ago to Rapala and took over the position of CEO.
Yeah.
What are the main thoughts you've tried to instill into the corporation after coming back? Is it the 3+1?
Well, it's basically 3+1. I'd say it's give more credit to sales.
Yeah.
Give more credit to sales, and then the customer centric. And maybe one that I didn't put in this list is the inside out, outside in view. We need to understand how our customers and how our anglers or consumers, when they look from outside in, what they think about Rapala. Why? Actually, sometimes it's a wonder to me why somebody is buying other products than our products. So it only comes from understanding the outside in view, and have to be honest to ourselves that if we are losing some business somewhere, it's only coming from understanding the outside in view, that what can make us better.
Got it.
Yeah.
And to piggyback on some of the pointers you brought out previously, for example, one more turn. How does this reflect in the products you offer and produce? Have you decreased the amount of different SKUs you give your sales team, or?
Yeah, that's actually a must. We must decrease the selection, and then we must follow the money. We must follow better the categories that bring us a better return. Yeah. And like earlier, like we had 100 million inventory. Having the same sales, having one more turn, basically the one more turn would mean a 25 million decrease in inventory without losing a cent of the business. We might lose a point or two on the gross margin if we are flying goods in more frequently, but the one more turn is also like one more visit to the customer, one more call to the customer, like you heard in the video, one more cast. So don't give up. Don't give up. Just one more turn. Try once more. A little bit harder.
Yes, this little bit of extra effort.
A little bit extra. Not much, but a little bit more.
Got it. I can imagine in your product category that's so complex with so many different opportunities.
Yeah.
It's easy to get carried away and bringing out some products that don't necessarily have that big of a market or that big of a customer appeal.
Sure. The one thing that we have a program coming on, I think it's going to be live next year, is also the more of sales training, because the selling is such a complex selection to a wide amount of customers. It demands a lot from these professionals who are on the selling. And sometimes when you are getting a kind of a first prize on the lottery on like the Crush City, so easy to sell. We are nearly saying that who can get it, then it's too easy in a way for the salesman. Yeah. So that's the point where you see who is a really professional salesman who can then use the prime product also to pull in the other products that might have been slowing down.
Yeah. And I can imagine your salespeople have a lot of benefit if they're avid fishermen themselves.
Yeah, it's good if they are fishermen, but then again, you have to separate your emotions from the business, and that's sometimes I have to bring some people back that let's not fall in. We can love our products, but let's not fall in love in our products. Still, this is a business.
Yeah. But going back to the first point that you've tried to bring into the organization, the all on red. So how does this affect your product or product categories you have, product offering, marketing expenditures? Are you bringing more of your categories and different products onto the Rapala brand? Are you using more of your marketing budgets focused on this main brand specifically, or?
Yeah, I think you got it right. Yeah, for sure. Like looking 3 years ahead, that's also a necessity. It's either like when you saw on Rapala Crush City, the Crush City is bigger than Rapala there. I think that we will use this more. We got the Storm and we got the Blue Fox and we got the suffixes. Yeah. We need to give it more Rapala more like power in giving the confidence to to the consumers and dealers that this is a proud member of the Rapala group.
So kind of bringing the other brand under the Rapala umbrella.
Yeah. And they like Rapala is signing for this.
Yeah.
Yes,
because I can imagine it's easier to put marketing efforts into one brand and bring recognition.
Absolutely, yeah. So within the next 3 years, I think that you will see a certain swift on this direction.
Yeah. And continuing on the topic, Crush City. It seems to be very successful so far. The demand seems to be there. What took you so long to extend into the soft baits? Because the category has been there all along.
The category has been there all the time.
Yeah.
So a lot of internal discussion is that is it eroding the hard baits? Earlier, back in the years, Rapala was known only for hard baits. Like in Finnish we call it vaappu. But then years went by and Rapala came out with and became actually a market leader on fishing accessories, on pliers, sunglasses, landing nets, everything. And I think that slowly the view changed that we can expand the Rapala brand with care. 15 years ago we had some misfortunes in expanding the brand. We went with Rapala to categories we shouldn't have. And I think some of our guys, they got a bit scared and not good. So now the world has changed. And
because honestly, as a consumer, I feel like soft baits is a more natural category for the brand relative to some of the accessories or sunglasses or some clothing you've tried out in the past.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
But continuing on the topic, so what do you think are the main drivers that have led to this, going over your own expectations when it comes to Crush City? What's behind all this success so far?
Sorry, can you repeat?
What do you think are the main drivers that have led to the success of Crush City as a new category you've expanded?
I think it's the understanding of the market. That's the outside in. I think we were very successful in understanding what the customer, what the consumers, what they want, and I think that was we took in some of the key pro anglers from the US into the team, and tell that if you want to be successful in your tournaments in Australia and in Europe, which kind of a lures would you like to have? And then it became more of a marriage. And everybody it was kind of a development process I never seen before. It was like a yes and yes and yes and yes and can we add this? Go. And it became like a I don't know, like a phenomenon, when you see an ice hockey team or a football team, they are all in like one person going to one goal. I think this was a great lesson for us, that we have to use time and we need to test and test and test. And then these guys who are authority also, when they say it's working, I won. Then also when you have these big names who can go and argue against, like if Jacob Wheeler is won $1 million and Dustin $500,000, is he wrong? I don't think so.
I can imagine like the visibility of Jacob Wheelers of the world dominating their competition with Rapala equipment or soft baits.
And then,
the best kind of
then our key managers, including myself, I've been touting this around the world in LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and everywhere. And it's becoming like it's kind of a band on the run. And it's like I don't know if that's a right expression, but like it means that everybody sees it as a success. I want to chop into the bandwagon.
And that's one of the key ways where consumer brands can have benefits of economies of scale, because if Thomas's fishing tackles try to come into the industry, you're not going to get the same kind of visibility. And it takes time to
then on the business side, we did a very good analysis. What's the key price point that we can afford to give a good margin to the dealers? and for us too. So.
Yeah, but here's a question about profitability of your countries. And as far as I know, some of your markets like North America are super profitable, but some others less so. So the question is, how many of your countries where you have operations are profitable?
Majority are, but there are some countries where we are happy if we don't lose money, but we want to be present. And one of those countries is Japan.
Yeah.
We want to be present, we want to have our ear on the ground, and we are happy if we don't lose money there.
Okay. So do you get beneficial information from there, or is the strategy more like...
Absolutely, that's the reason. And also you are connected in the industry, in the world's second largest market.
Yeah, and if you leave, I can imagine trying to enter later on becomes more difficult.
And if some of the countries, if they have, for some reasons, if they're gone, on negative EBIT, then I'd say that the turnaround is normally okay if it happens in 2 years.
Yeah.
So, but the game is won or lost in America.
Yeah.
That's
by far your biggest market.
That's by far the biggest market. But we have now good opportunities to come back in Europe in a big scale.
Yeah.
So.
And continuing on the topic, during the last 20 plus years, you've expanded quite a bit globally onto new markets. So what are maybe the main learnings from your international expansion?
Well, when we started expanding after our listing in 1998 or thereabouts, that's a long time ago. So that time we were 100 million, and then we grew to about nearly 300 million either by organically or mainly by acquisitions, and we were mainly buying our own distributors. And there I learned a lot about the culture, the importance of the culture. That when we were a small company and we couldn't send a Finn, from headquarters to every company we buy. So it was really important that we had a skill and a way to transform our culture to those countries, and then then everybody working as one team. And that's why the team and culture was the first bubble, not bubble, but the ball in my presentation. That's been maybe the key learning.
Yeah, and I can imagine that a Swede sells better to a Swede and a Frenchman sells better to a Frenchman.
Yeah.
But is this also then one of the main challenges currently in some of your markets that are less profitable then? Is the culture still an issue there or challenge?
Yeah, you could say so, because there are some areas, but I'd say that we are not too bad here, and I can pick up a phone and call to any of our managers and ask, hey, how is it going? Can I help you? And what's your biggest challenge? And then I know everybody in our group basically, so I have a ear on the ground and smell how things are. So I think this is more personal business also, good or bad, but that's the way it is that
it just has to be managed.
Just has to be managed.
Yeah. And what about your 13 Fishing acquisition? Like, quite recently you acquired the rest of the company.
Yeah.
And now you control it fully. So what has it enabled you guys to do, and what was maybe the key rationale behind?
Yeah, well, when we got into the 13 Fishing with 49% 4 years ago, the rationale that time was that we lost an important third-party brand, Shimano. Shimano wanted to take their own distribution in their house, and so we were also in the brink of losing an important door opener. And that time, 13 Fishing was the kind of the talk of the town. It was the young American active brand, and we got in to also have a better smell, of the American market again. But then they run into wall with the COVID, and with the 18 months and 12 months and delivery times that they couldn't eventually handle. The brand is really nice, and it's totally different than Okuma. Okuma is kind of in the middle, and then 13 is filling many niches, It's like I had a speech after we finished the acquisition. I said here 13 Fishing is a combination of two cars on the image scale. It's a Mustang and it's a Tesla. It's a traditional American, strong and powerful, and a little bit dangerous. And Tesla, which is a new technology and look into the future and American innovation. So it's really earned its place now in our portfolio. The last thing about 13 Fishing, when the customers in US heard about that Rapala had the majority or the full control of 13 Fishing, they said that when you got that house in order, we are in business. So 13 Fishing is a very, very desired brand, but because of they didn't have enough resources. Now our key customers are saying, you put your house in order and we are talking business.
So does this mean they're more open to taking in the
Absolutely,
brand once you take over the
and now
sales?
you know, the US sales strategy or the operations are run by a big part is run by third-party salesmen, sales agencies, and now we transform, like in a few months, the entire 13 Fishing sales system into Rapala sales system. So the guy now who is selling the Rapala lures to world's biggest customers, the next thing they offer here is the 13 Fishing. And maybe we can do a joint cooperation here. And so we are using a big leverage on this one.
This way you can get some sales synergies out of it.
Absolutely,
the same person can do both.
Yeah. One of the biggest setbacks in American market was also for 13 was 2 weak winters. Yeah. So we now my crystal ball is telling that next winter is going to be cold.
Maybe to wrap up the interview, what are the things you're looking forward to the most from a Rapala's point of view?
Well, I'd say that like the spirit of the closer customer work. I think that's something that we have to get closer to the customers. I think we've been a little bit further away doing our things in our office. We have to go to the world. And this is really what I want to enhance and reward.
And when talking about customers, do you mean the retailers or the end user?
Retailers certainly, but I would not like to separate those. Every time I see a fisherman anywhere, I'm thinking that he's paying my salary. He is paying my salary. So, and we don't want to compete with our customers. And so we are doing marketing that's pulling these consumers into the retail stores and hoping that this partnership then will grow for the long term.
Because with that model, you win together.
Well, that's the idea. Yeah.
Thank you, Lars, for the interview, and have a good summer.
Same to you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.